Good morning, and welcome back to the Bitch Barn with me, Manny Makes. So, I put out a really raw, unedited video last night about, what was that video? Oh, I gave everyone some updates about where I've been, why I've been gone so long. Went through my new paper pumpkin kit that came in and shared some thrift store finds. And I promised the next video would be about the Silhouette Cameo and the Cricut Maker. Last week, it was last week, wasn't it? Yeah. There was so many news articles and videos about Cricut's company yeah, I'm still having trouble with my brain functioning properly. It's a factor of old age and chronic illness. You know, just, fast forward or whatever. Okay, so last week, Cricut was going to change the use policy for their Cricut devices that involved limiting uploads. Long story short, everyone in the industry that cared about the consumer voiced their opinions and thoughts on the matter strongly, and Cricut finally reversed that decision. That being said, there are no longer in the foreseeable future limits on the number of uploads one can make to Cricut to cut on their machines, which is great. Thank you, Cricut. I appreciate that. That's not what this video is about. This video, I'm going to talk to you as a user of the Cricut Maker and as a user of the Silhouette Cameo 4 and the Silhouette Curio machines and their software. I am not going to do a tutorial on either of those machines. I'm going to tell you my thoughts and my opinions about the two machines and the correlating software to those machines. And you can decide for yourself what is right for you. So, long story short, I became disabled due to illness in around 2014. I had been a career woman to that point, as well as a mother of children who are all grown and have families of their own now. But I did not adjust well to no longer being able to get up and go to work. I had nothing to do at home other than take care of my animals. And that was kind of difficult, still is difficult, but depression and other things set in. And as I perused the internets and websites and YouTube videos and everything, in 2018, I discovered the Cricut Maker, and I wanted one so bad. On my personal Facebook page, I was always posting about it. Look at this awesome machine. I'm going to save my money up and get this for me, blah, 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 blah. I was super excited about it. In December of 2018, my son and daughter-in-law, Daniel and Valerie, gifted me a brand new Cricut Maker. I was ecstatic. I was excited. I was grateful and thankful. Those two, oh my God, they're the best. Anyway, I dove right in, making vinyl cuts and iron-on cuts and this vinyl thing and that iron-on thing, and then I discovered that it could cut paper. And I started seeing all these projects people were making out of paper. Well, actually, cardstock. Let's get that right. My first paper project was out of construction paper. And it didn't, I mean, it came out great, but it was really funny. I was proud of it, and I posted it in a group, and they said, "Oh, you did really well." And then I started learning cardstock. Anyway, I have been using the Cricut Maker since December of 2018. Mother's Day 2020, I received the Cameo 4. So I have been using the Cameo 4, let's see, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 10 months. I promise, I used to be a very smart woman. You know, it happens to the best of us at times. Excuse me, I get a little teared up whenever I think about receiving my Cricut Maker, because we, the whole family, lost my daughter-in-law in January. Anyway, back to the discussion, which that is what this is, a discussion. The Cricut Maker was extremely easy to learn. It can't be more user-friendly. The software, if you're able to use Word, Facebook, any of those things, you can click around and learn how to use Cricut software without really watching anyone's videos. However, if you are someone who learns Esmeralda, please. My cat's over here rubbing her head on my computer monitor, which is disturbing the camera. Come here, kitty, kitty. So, where was I? Cricut software, Silhouette software. Cricut software is extremely easy to use, very easy to learn. If you're not quick or able to easily learn something, there are a ton of videos that you can learn how to use Cricut Design Space. Alternatively, there are a ton of videos on how to learn Silhouette Design Space. Very quickly, I'd say about 6 months for me. Cricut Design Space started driving me insane. Absolutely insane. There were a number of things I wanted to be able to do in the software that you cannot do easy in the software. And I knew there were programs capable of doing it quickly and easily. I just didn't know what programs I could do it in that would be compatible with Cricut. So, of course, I turned to YouTube. Need some coffee. So, I learned about Silhouette Studio. Keep in mind, I had not gotten the Silhouette machines yet. Those are recent acquisitions. About 10 months ago, the Cameo 4. About the same time, just before I got the Cameo 4, I happened upon a really good deal for the Silhouette Curio on Marketplace. Picked it up for about $50. That's an awesome machine. I'll talk about it more. So through YouTube, I discovered that you could use Silhouette Studio Business Edition to design your cut files, save them as SVGs, and upload them to Cricut and have your Cricut cut them. Perfect solution. Used it for a long time. Still use it to this day that way when there are projects that I know I want to specifically cut on the Cricut Maker. And therein lies the huge difference between Cricut and Silhouette, is their software. Cricut software is 100% dependent on having internet. If you're someone who does not have internet at home, you cannot and will not be able to use a Cricut device, because there's software that runs the machine that actually cuts the files and designs you create is dependent on the internet. Every single time you open that software, well, first of all, with Cricut, you have to download the software. And it's more of a app than an actual program. Every time you open your Cricut Design Space software, the first thing it's going to do is check Cricut servers for an update. Once it's done that, if there's an update, it will automatically update. If there is not an update, it will open your Design Space program, and you'll be logged in. Your name will be at the upper right. It will, if you have created any projects, it will populate your My Projects area. If any of those projects have been marked to be saved in the cloud and your computer, it will pull information from the Cricut servers and show you which ones are saved supposedly locally and which ones are not. Then you can open a new workspace or peruse Cricut Access if you're a Cricut Access subscriber and begin using Design Space. Now, they have it upgraded to the point where if you are working on a project and you have suddenly lost your internet connection, your internet goes out, it saves an encrypted version of whatever file you're working on locally, so that if you lose your internet connection, you can continue to work on that project. However, if you're someone without internet, or say, times are tough these days. Say you had to let your internet service go for a month, and you've got a bunch of Cricut projects that you've gone in and saved locally. You go in there and open your design space up. It will open, but you're not going to be able to open any of your projects because it hasn't been able to connect to Cricut servers and checked in. So you're sitting there with a machine you can't use until you have internet again. It is not a true offline software. Silhouette Studio. Silhouette Studio has Basic Edition, which is free, entirely free. Designer Edition, which is the first level upgrade. And Business Edition. There might be another edition before Business Edition, but Business Edition is the top line that has everything. And if you're a Cricut user looking for something to design in, Business Edition is what you want. Whether if you're going for a paid version of the software, you pay for the software one time. You don't pay for it year after year after year or month to month to month. You purchase the program one time, and you get every single update that's ever offered going forward. It is a true offline software. So that means that once you've made an internet connection and downloaded the software and installed it on your computer, you don't have to have internet to open that software, create a design, and cut it to your machine, your Silhouette machine. The Silhouette software does not require internet. It does not hide your files in the cloud behind an encryption. You can choose to save your files anywhere you want on your computer, just like saving a Word document or an Excel file. You can save it to a thumb drive. You can save it to an external hard drive. You can save your designs anywhere you want. And they do offer a library within the software that you can save your files to as well, which is really handy because it's organized well. You can be designing something and click to your library and see all your little images and things that you have, and pick one and instantly get it right there into your current project file. Okay, we've gone over the internet aspect of both softwares. And as I've mentioned, Design Space is extremely easy to use. It's very basic. Think of the two software applications, Design Space and Silhouette Studio, as Microsoft Paint versus Photoshop. You can do a lot in Paint, but you can do way more in Photoshop. And no, I'm not a Photoshop user. If that doesn't help you, think of it as a Honda Civic compared to a full-size four-wheel drive pickup truck. That Honda Civic's going to get you everywhere as long as there's pavement. You'll be able to carry people in some suitcases or lots of groceries. But if you're working in your yard or doing home DIY projects, that truck is going to carry a lot more. If there's bad weather, if you're like me, you live in the country and have some rough roads, that truck is going to go a lot more places. I can't think of any other analogies off the top of my head right now. Oh yes, I can. Chromebooks compared to normal PCs or MacBooks. There you go. Cricut Design Space is a Chromebook. Silhouette Studio is a MacBook or a regular PC. Silhouette Studio has so much more to offer to design. More coffee. You can, and you have been able to for a long, long time, do offsets, insets. It's easy to weld, warp, whatever image you see anywhere, you can pull it in and trace it and make it easy to cut, change the colors, whatever. And honestly, even though I've been using the software for a long time, well before I got my Silhouette machines, there's still functions in Silhouette Studio that I haven't played with. But they're there. I can begin learning them anytime. There's lots of YouTube videos for the software. There's built-in help tutorials in the software that is not internet dependent. There's a PDF manual you can pull up from within the software. There's Silhouette School and Silhouette University, where they offer hundreds of free video tutorials on using the software. And there's specialized YouTubers who show you how to do something in Studio, pull it into Design Space, and cut it to your maker, as well as how to do something in Studio and how to do the exact same thing if it can be done in Design Space. So the real big difference between the two devices is the software that runs it. Cricut is proprietary. You have to be connected to the internet to cut to your machine, to design your projects, to open your projects. You cannot save your projects anywhere you want. Period. You can't do it. It's closed. Once you create a design in Cricut Design Space and save it, you can call that project yours all you want, but if you read the fine print in the terms of service for Cricut, that project now belongs to Cricut. Yeah. doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to them. That is not true for Silhouette. You make something, save it, doesn't belong to them, belongs to you. Okay. Cricut Maker versus Silhouette Cameo 4. The first thing that anyone will notice is the Cricut Maker is heavy. Silhouette Cameo 4 is light. The Maker is a very well built machine. It has a lot of cutting pressure. It has a lot of different tools that can cut a variety of materials. It has debossing tips, engraving tips, deep knife blades, rotary blades, fine tip blades. It's designed to be a really good personal home-based cutting machine. And it is quiet compared to the Cameo 4. It really is. It's a quieter machine. And it cuts great. Love the way it cuts. Cameo 4 is lighter in weight. It is designed to cut a lot of different materials. Has a lot of different tools that can be used. The normal blade, it's got the auto blade, the ratchet blade, the knife blade, and it's come out with some others recently. It's got a rotary blade. It can cut almost anything the Cricut Maker can cut just as well. You can cut the same project on both machines with good blades. Take the projects out, mix them up, and you can't tell the difference between which machine cut which project. Honestly, you can't. The Curio, let's see, other things between the Cameo 4 and the Cameo, or the Cameo machines and the Cricut Maker Explore machines all use mats. You stick the vinyl or paper, cardstock to the mat, put it in the machine cuts it. Cricut has a limit of 12 inches by 24 inches. 24 inches being the longest mat you can purchase. I have to pause. I'll be right back. Okay, a short intermission. So we are talking about the mats. The Cricut Maker, your project size is limited to 12 inches by 24 inches, but not really. Because there are ways, if you get really good and want to go through all the bother, to create your design so that it spans across a wider area. There's a way to do that with all the machines. Cricut requires a mat. You can't cut without a mat. The Silhouette Cameo has matless cutting. You don't have to use a mat to cut on it if you don't want to. It can cut up to, if not more, I think it's 6 feet No, I didn't look it up. And I've never cut 6 feet, but it's capable of cutting up to 6 feet. It has a roll feeder. So if you're one of those people who cut vinyl a lot, you can put a whole roll of vinyl on the roll feeder and feed it in and cut 6 feet or maybe more, but I know at least 6 feet of a vinyl at a time for your project. Are you kidding me? 6 feet? Silhouette machines also come in wider versions now. The basic Cameo 4 is basic 12-inch wide. Their mats are 12 by 12s. And they come in a wide format. I think it's 24-inch, which, you know, wow. The Cameo machines are considered commercial quality. So, you know, they're truly built for business. Cricut's built for personal. Silhouette machines, you have freedom. Cricut machines, you don't. The Curio machines are really cool. They don't use the traditional mats. They use what they call base platform, and you create a sandwich. The thing about the Curio is that they can cut thicker materials, much thicker than Cricut or Cameo, and you can completely remove your project from the machine and put it back into the machine and run it again, and it will cut in the exact same place. You can't do that with the Cameo or the Cricut. You can't pull the mat out and put it back in and expect it to cut in the same place. Not going to happen. All the Cricut machines and the Silhouette machines have print and cut. So you can print something out and have your machine cut it. They use registration marks. The print and cut area for a maker is smaller by a bit than the print and cut area for your Cameo. So, I think I've gone over everything. Pretty sure I have. That is the long, hard truth between Cricut and Silhouette. Both machines are equal in cutting. They both cut great. Their differences lie in the severe limitations that Cricut has compared to Silhouette, and that is in their software. You cannot use any other software exclusively to cut with Cricut. You have to use Design Space software to cut with. And even if you do have a really great internet connection, Design Space is going to screw up on you. It just does. There's hours and days that it just doesn't work. And they're always putting out notices that Design space will be going down such and such a time until such a time. And during that time, you can't use design space. You never have that problem with Silhouette Studio, ever. The only time there's a problem with Silhouette Studio, generally, is if there's a problem with your personal computer, because it's not internet dependent. A lot of people complain about the auto blades in the Cameo 4. Mine came with an auto blade. I never had a problem with it. All the problems people have had with their Cameo 4s has been user related. They made a mistake. And people don't like admitting to mistakes. None of us do. So, I think there may be a couple of people that I've run across in the different things that had a truly defective device. And that's going to be with anything. It doesn't matter who it is. Manufacturing provides, they don't provide it. Manufacturing incurs defects. You can't get around it. Someone's going to get something defective at some point. But 99% of the problems people have with the Cameo, for specifically auto blades, is user error. They don't have it pushed down all the way. They don't have it locked in properly. They tried to clean it and didn't put it back together properly. They're doing something wrong in the software, so it's not working right. It's not the machine's fault if a user makes a mistake. It's just not. So I guess that's everything, people. Which do I like the best? Well, I'm going to be honest. My late daughter-in-law gave me my Cricut Maker. My Cricut Maker brought me back to life. I love my Cricut Maker. I will never, ever sell my Cricut Maker. And the only way I will stop using my Cricut Maker is if Cricut forces me to, which looked very real last week. So my preferred machine for cutting small projects is the Cricut Maker. But there are more times that I cannot use design space to cut a project than I can count. So 9 times out of 10 that I'll pull the Cricut out and set it up to cut something, there's a problem with design space and I have to revert back to cutting that file through Silhouette Studio to my Cameo or Curio. And I don't mind because those machines cut just as well. I just have a sentimental attachment to my Cricut Maker. But if I did not have either machine and I had all of this information that I've just given you, I would not purchase the Cricut Maker. I would not lock myself into a company that is going to run roughshod over when and how I can use that machine. If I buy a machine, I expect to be able to use it anytime I want. Period. I don't want someone telling me, no, you can only use it X number of times a month. Or you can only use it when you can connect to the internet to check in at the server. No. or you can make anything you want on your machine, but we're going to own all your projects. No, I wouldn't go that route. If I were just now getting into it and had done all the research and everything, I'd go with the Silhouette machine, hands down. I can't tell you anything about any other machine because I don't own them. I'd be interested in learning more about a brother scan and cut, but you know, there aren't very many videos out there that's deep diving and telling you the honest truth of the pros and cons to the machines and the software and what you can or can't do, like you're going to see right here, like you just watched. So there you have it. Silhouette Cameo and Curio, hands down, is what I would recommend to people. Ow, my foot's stuck in my chair. Hands down, from here out forward, I will be recommending the Silhouette devices to anyone who asks. Not that I have anything against Cricut. I do, but I don't feel I should be limited on when and how I can use my machine. Even now, without their new policy, since they revoked that idea, that's great. But still, they still control when and how you can use your machine. It's the truth. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to me ramble on and speak about the Cricut and the Cameo. I do hope that you hit the like button and subscribe. I'm not sure what the next video will be. I really need to craft a few things. Easter's coming up. I have some grandkids. So I'd really like to do some crafting videos. Yeah. So everyone, enjoy your weekend. I love you. Thanks for watching. Manny Makes in the Bitch Barn. And y'all have a great weekend.